Well, we are continuing our chats with Matt Christensen here, and we're going to talk about, all of the investigative stories that you're doing today, maybe a little bit more of a lighthearted one. So we enjoy that. So today we're talking about bus drivers and really the lack thereof of bus drivers in Iowa and how some rural districts are looking to solve that issue. So Matt, you've been working on a story on some rural districts and really the superintendents who are kind of taking charge.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how this story came about, actually. I was up in Goose Lake working on another story and ran into the superintendent there, Neil Gray. And we had a meeting about an unrelated topic, and he said, hey, I got to go because school's getting out and I got to go drive my bus route. And I thought, well, that's crazy. What's a superintendent doing driving a bus? And so he said, you know what, come back up here sometime and I'll tell you all about it. And so I got a little hole in my calendar and I took him up on it and I went back up there. And it turned out that this is a little deeper story than a superintendent driving a bus. This really kind of brought me into an issue that I didn't have any insight until I walked into the story. And that's, sort of this notion of how much teachers, superintendents are being asked to do these days and how difficult that job can be. So
Right.
I talk a little bit about that in my story.
And part of the issue is that CDL licenses are
Right.
fairly tough to get, right? And also expensive and can be a little bit tedious. So can you walk us through how these superintendents and other teachers are kind of trying to combat that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right on all those fronts. It's hard to get. It's not like a regular driver's license. It's a commercial driver's license. So there are more, hoops to jump through to get that. Once you get that, you still have to get bus driver certifications beyond that. So the whole process takes, sometimes 5 months to accomplish, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to go through the process. And that's if you pass every single thing in the right order.
Right.
So the superintendent up there decided, there's such a shortage. Mr. Gray decided because there's such a shortage of bus drivers, especially in the rural districts, that it was really on the district to go out and solve this problem. So he went out and got his CDL.
Okay.
And
Wow.
that's why he's driving buses now. And the cool part of this is that he's now helping other people in the district get their CDLs, other superintendents in the region.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And they have I mean, you were telling me like a little checklist of things that they do, like a really easy way for people who want to get their CDL to do it.
Right, sure. This is like any government bureaucracy. You've got to take a test and go to the DMV and then go get another certification and take a different test and then go to a different website. So there's all these steps that are involved, and Mr. Gray has sort of outlined these in a document, sort of a how-to, a little checklist of, once you get that certification, where do you need to go next? What are the next steps in the process and that kind of thing. And now he shared that document with some other rural superintendents in Clinton and DeWitt, and this little program is now starting to grow.
That's pretty cool. And it's a story that, we're not unfamiliar with here with the shortage of bus drivers. We've talked about it before. I know we've done stories, I think specifically with Clinton before in the past about just how tough it is to find bus drivers. And so it's definitely one that we're continuing to follow up on.
Yeah, sure. One more point to make is that the CDLs are difficult to get, so when people get them, there's a high demand for those CDL drivers. And so a lot of those folks can make a little bit more money or have more consistent hours or get benefits driving in the private sector. And so you really have to find the right person to have that CDL, be able to work those hours, be good around children too. I rode the bus up there, and it was quite an experience. Yeah, it was fun. It's been a long time since I was on a bus, but it's not just the driving you have to worry about in those situations. So, really cool story. I had a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be pretty informative and an inside look into a part of our children's school day that we always don't get to see. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, we appreciate tackling this problem, and you can tune in on Thursday for more. That is when the story airs, and so you'll get to learn a little bit more about how these districts are tackling this issue. Thanks for joining us.